Here we are, second stage workshop, plants out the front, signs out the front. Actually got the first customer already in on the hoist, doing a quick muffler swap on this one. So I got myself some 2 1/4 bends. These are 45 degrees, and we're just making that up there so that the new muffler can sit in exactly the right spot. So I'm halfway through that. We'll go out and you can have a quick look at the muffler. It's on like a Lancer wagon. So yeah, pretty cool little car. Just a nice daily. Just wanting to swap out the old horrible muffler. This thing. Look at that. No one wants that on their car. That's big and horrible and smelly. So I swapped it out for a nice, clean, shiny one. So get these pipes marked up, tacked together, and then fit them on the car, and we'll go from there. So there we go. That's what we're up to first thing this morning. So here we go, under the Lancer wagon, and we've gone with just a nice twin tip outlet on a fairly shiny exhaust, and I use this frame here to set the position, and these little packers get it in the right spot, but I don't like scratching this nice mirrored finish, so I just get an old vanilla folder, or brand new vanilla folder actually, and tape it all up just to keep the mufflers from getting scratched. But yeah, once I got my set position, I can then move on to fitting the pipe work, getting that exactly right. So I'm just in the middle now of marking this and getting it how I like, and then when she's ready, we'll weld it up. I'm getting pretty close now. I'm reasonably happy with the placement. We're just tacked here. I've got this marked, so I'm probably going to take that on the bench and tack that together, and then I can do my final fit and get it exactly in the right spot, and then I actually tack it while it's sitting here on the car so that I can make sure everything's absolutely lovely, absolutely perfect. And I'm just having a look here. I think I'm a little bit too far out. I might just take another 10 mil. Yeah, I think just 10 mil. We're just a little bit too far out, I reckon. I'm sort of eyeballing off the back of the bumper here, and that's just a bit too much. I might just take another 10 mil and I'll be happy. So then we'll take it to the bench, 10 mil off that pipe, tack it in place, and then come to our final fit. So this way, I'm nice and square, sort of following that line of the car there. We're nice and square. This way, we're right. Distance to the bar I'm pretty happy with, and we're nicely in the middle of this cutout on the rear lip there, so pretty stoked with that. Clearances are all still really nice everywhere on the pipes, so we'll get the MIG welder out now and put a couple of real healthy tacks, so it's exactly where I want it. And there we go, there's the muffler located. That's mainly the tricky part out of the way. And then we move on to making some hangers, fully weld, and put it back on the car. Just made a couple of hangers. So before the muffler comes off to get fully welded, we'll hang it as well. That way it's all done. So then I can weld her up and chuck it on. It's all done. So let's get these hangers on. So there we go. Hanger up there, and another one on the side. Obviously, I'm just using the OEM hanging position. You got to give it the old shake test. Make sure your clearances are all good. So I'm pretty happy with all that. We'll unbolt it, weld her up, paint it, bolt it on, and hopefully we have another happy customer. There we go. She's all welded up. And because this is all mild steel, I always like to just put a coat of paint on stuff. Otherwise it will rust pretty much instantly. just looks terrible. So just for the sake of an extra 20 minutes and a coat of paint, it's just always nice to send stuff out the door looking the best that it can, and also give it a little bit of longevity, looking good for a while. So a bit of wax and grease remover, get all this filth off, and this tube actually comes with a bit of oil on it, so we've got to prep the area first, otherwise the paint's not going to stick very well. So a bit of wax and grease remover, a bit of high temp black paint, and we'll bolt it back on. So the Datsun's getting picked up today, which is good. What's bad is I de-beaded the front wheel driving with it a little bit too flat this morning. I just needed it out of the way so we could get the customer's car on the hoist. So that's a bit unfortunate. Now, I'm really surprised that those tyres hold air at all. So we're going to use the old kaboom. This is for, so we've got that currently hooked up to the air compressor. We'll fill this full of a whole heap of compressed air. Open the valve and it should hopefully blow the tyre back onto the bead, and we can get some air in it enough to get the car on the trailer anyway. So let's have a play with this, see how that goes. Oh, nearly. Jeez. There we go, out the wrapping, bolted onto the car. We haven't heard it yet, so Dylan's actually here at the moment. We're about to fire the car up and see how much extra noise it makes. Should be interesting. So pretty happy with that. And let's give it a rip. Better. Yeah. Datsun just got picked up, so hopefully the new owner can go and have a bit of a laugh with that, a bit of fun. So he's just saying he's got a couple of kids, 16 and 14, and they're going to take it out of the paddock and just have a good time there. So it's good to see it go to a new home, and hopefully someone can have as much fun with it as we did. Goodbye, Datsun. She's a fun little car. I just didn't have time for it anymore. As much as I wanted to, you know, have a little paddock basher that we could do bits and pieces with. I've just got other projects that I really need to get on with. So, drift van being one of them. So after closing up the shop, I went for a bit of a drive, and I went down to a speed shop and also to like an engineering tool shop, and it was horrible. I hated going to those places. They're full of shiny, nice, beautiful things that I love, and yeah, it's just not enjoyable to go to those shops. Anyway, I grabbed a couple of tools that I need to do the next job that's coming through the shop. This job's an engine rebuild, and I just needed a couple of specific tools to just do a nicer job. So my current torque wrench has been kicking around in the toolbox for far too long and wasn't up to spec for building engines, so I've gone and got myself a gnaw bar. I've been recommended these from a mate, made in England, apparently good gear. So I got one of those. I got myself a manual piston ring filer. So it's a little tool there that allows me to set my ring gaps correctly. And then this here is a tapered ring compressor for doing a 4-inch and 40 thou over bore piston installation. Now it only works on a 40 thou over 4-inch bore. It doesn't do any other ones, but it's just a nicer way to compress springs rather than using the old ratchet type. And I needed to get some better feeler gauges. The one that I've got are like tapered. One side of the feeler gauge is a couple of thou bigger than the other, which is not really great for setting ring gaps. So I got them. I got these here, which is what I need for cleaning an engine block out really nice and thoroughly. Moroso engine block cleaning kit. And it comes in all these different sizes for cleaning oil galleries and water galleries and all those sorts of things. So yeah, some pretty specific tools there for doing a specific job, but it just allows me to do a much nicer job at building the motor. So it was nice to finally go and get all them. And there's quite a few bits to go with this engine build, so we'll jump in the clean room and have a look. So Max has been a mad lad. This is his parts storage room here at the workshop, and he's cleared a space for me so that I can have a cleaner environment to build this motor. So everywhere else in the workshop, I'm cutting, I'm grinding, and you just can't build engines and that sort of thing. So this is its own little enclosed room. I've got a door that we can close, and it just allows me to keep all the filth of a fabrication workshop away from building an engine. So yeah, these are all the parts that we've been acquiring over the last few months to rebuild a 360 V8 out of a Chrysler. Now this will be its own video series. I've done a whole heap of filming already on tear down of the motor and removing it from the car and all those sorts of things. So I won't touch on stuff too much here in these videos. This will be its own video, so keep an eye out for that. There's some pretty tasty parts here that will hopefully make for a fantastic engine. Probably the main attraction being a new set of alloy heads, which are pretty sweet, and quite a nice cam and some tasty pistons and some new con rods and all those fantastic things. So stay tuned. You'll definitely be seeing standalone videos all on the engine rebuild. Thanks for watching my videos. Hope you're enjoying them, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take it easy, everybody.